All right, joining me now is Roman from the Roman Madero Show. Thank you for being here. It's great to see you at SAS.
Thank you for having me. No, it's a blessing to be here. You want me to take over? Oh, you got it? All right, sweet. No, it's a blessing to be here, quite frankly. I was blessed with the opportunity to run the show. 90 days ago, God blessed me with this incredible opportunity to basically, I'll give you a little background on me. I've played soccer my whole life, and I've sacrificed my whole life to soccer. But God blessed me with this incredible opportunity to run the show because I've always had a passion for politics, for government, for law, and it's always been something I've been really interested, I've been passionate about, and I love. It's been something I've always been very outspoken about, and I've never been quiet about my beliefs, quite frankly. So I always followed it. I always stayed engaged in it. And the reality is God knew I needed a balance in my life. I was becoming too obsessed with soccer. I was becoming too consumed in the culture of soccer. And like I said, God blessed me with this incredible show. And in the last 90 days, we only started 90 days ago, ladies and gentlemen. In the last 90 days, we've grown the show to 5,000 followers on Instagram across all platforms. We're on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok. And across all platforms in the last 90 days, we've hit over 370,000 views. Praise God. I couldn't even have ever imagined it. We had former mayors from Montebello, California, Irvine, San Luis Obispo, California. We have a guy running for California governor, Daniel Mercury. We also got a guy coming up named Chad Bianco who's going to be coming up on the show. So we've got incredible things coming up, which I'm really grateful for.
Yeah, it's really exciting. As somebody who started doing this pretty young as well, it's always fun to get those first couple of good ones, and it's a lot of fun. Why was it important for you to get involved? You talked about your obsession with soccer and how this has sort of re-guided you, but I'm sure you felt like some sort of a calling to do this. It's a lot of work to keep up with things and to inform people and to stay on top of it. So what sort of inspired you to do that?
Simple answer. Donald J. Trump. He is my inspiration. I love the man, and I've said it on my show, and I'm going to say it again. He's the kind of guy, I love the fact that he's a fighter. I'm a fighter, and he doesn't BS. And the reality is I am the kind of person that I'm willing to take a bullet for this man, and I'm willing to take a bullet for this country because he's a fighter, and I get so riled up because the reality is when I see the mainstream media, I'm from California, you guys. I'm from the liberal capital of the world, all right? From tranny land, from, the tranny land. It's tranny land. It's commie California. It is the most left-wing, liberal-leaning area you will ever go. I mean, you go to downtown LA and San Francisco, and let me tell you, it is a war zone at least once a month in
my gosh.
cities.
I'm going to LA next week. I hope I'm not headed into a war zone.
Oh, you are? You're going to head to a war zone. No, it's absolutely nuts, ladies and gentlemen. And the reality is I'm down there, and I'm not willing to leave because I love my state. My family's from the state.
Yeah.
I'm from a wonderful area called Paso Robles. It's in the 805 of California on the Central Coast. Beautiful area. That is conservative country. What people do not realize is you've got Sacramento and San Francisco up here, Los Angeles and San Diego down here, but there's a huge chunk of proud patriots, pro-Trump Americans within the miles in between that land.
Well, and also New York.
Hold on, one more thing. They don't get talked about enough, and I'm their voice. I'm here for them because the reality is Donald J. Trump in the 2024 election, you know what he did? He flipped 10 counties red in California. He flipped 10 counties red in California. You take out Los Angeles, you take out San Francisco. California is a red state. Obviously, I know it's a very populated and isolated area, but my point being is there's a huge part of the state that doesn't get enough representation, and I'm here for them, and I'm speaking for them.
Well, and New York is very similar. It's the city and a few of the suburbs, and beyond that, I mean, people on Long Island and in upstate New York are pretty conservative, so it's these big population centers and these blue states that sort of weigh them down.
Right, and you look at New York now. They got Kami Mondani, like the guy's got his head so far his ass. Can I say that?
Sure.
Oh, shoot. Why not? Right? He's got his head so far up his ass, guys. He's a socialist, radical left, Islamic leader. I guess is going to be the new leader of New York. I can't believe it.
Maybe not. Hopefully not.
Well, you know what my advice is? I was telling somebody this the other day. You got a guy like Cuomo. You got a guy like Mayor Adams. You got a couple different people, and they all got big backings. They all got big names. They all got big donors. What they need to do is this. They all need to come up in a private room, and they need to get all their donors, and they got to say, who's the guy? Who's the guy that can go and beat Mamdani? Who's the guy that's got the biggest following, that got the biggest money, that that articulates himself in the best way, a charismatic, persuasive leader, a guy who's got that je ne sais quoi. All you need is that je ne sais quoi. Let me tell you, Obama, his policies are horrible. Gavin Newsom, policies are horrible.
Yeah.
They got the je ne sais quoi. So a guy that can compete with Mom Donnie and have that je ne sais quoi is somebody that the New York people can get behind. But they need to get their head out of their ass, quite frankly, because what they're doing down there, and it's a shit show. It's a shit show. It's horrible.
Yeah, and it really is a shame. All right, so going back to you a little bit, you started this show, and you've seen pretty decent traction in the first couple of months. Yeah, which is wonderful. And so do you have any, I know you told us that you have a California governor candidate coming up. Anything you're working on you can share with us where people can look forward to?
All right, guys. So thanks to God the Almighty, Charlie Kirk, and the program Charlie Kirk has created in Turning Point USA by allowing me to be out here and not only, work on networking my chapter, which is the Norco chapter in California, but also my show, the Roman Madero Show. It's been a wonderful opportunity. So what I'm going to tell you is this. In the next 2 weeks, Stephen Davis?
Yeah.
We're getting Stephen Davis on the show.
Very good.
I've been blessed to get him on the show. You know a guy named Brandon Tatum?
Yes.
Well, Brandon Tatum I'm not going to say we haven't finalized Tatum, but we're close to finalizing Tatum, which hopefully we can. I'm giving you another shout out. No, but Tatum started following me, praise God. Davis is following me, praise God. But yeah, we booked Davis for sure. Super confirmed. Tatum is
super confirmed. I like that term.
Super confirmed. We like it, right? No, but so yeah, we got Davis. Tatum is very, very close. It's, I would say, about 75% in the making.
So we only have 25% for error, so we're pretty good.
Yeah, I like my odds, right? I like my odds. We're going to get the deal done, Tatum. And then the other one that is such a cool opportunity is, Joe Bob?
I've heard of him. Yeah.
Joe Bob, yeah. Joe Bob's a great guy. I had a wonderful conversation with him, about 20 minutes here. I know his producer really well. Tino, you're a wonderful guy. Joe Bob's a wonderful guy, great comedian. Anyway, we're very, very close to booking Joe Bob as well. Again, when I say close to, it's like, hey, we got a yes. It's now just finalizing dates and location.
The schedule, yeah.
Yeah, because with my schedule, with his schedule, we're going back and forth. He's in Tampa, I'm in Tampa. We're moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour over here, ladies and gentlemen. So the reality is we're really, really close to getting it done. But again, about maybe just 25%, until we need to finalize it. But again, I'm so excited. I really am. Oh, and oh my gosh, we were on the Charlie Kirk show yesterday.
Nice.
So I was blessed with that opportunity. It was kind of like right place at the right time. Charlie, he's asking about the Epstein and what's going on.
Oh, yeah, that is an interesting story. I don't mean to cut you off, but I know that a lot of people are really upset with Attorney General Bondi because of the Epstein files. What do you think is going to happen with that? I'm curious your take, because she said the files are sitting on her desk. She's now retracted the statement. I was just talking to somebody else about this. Have people lost confidence in her or no?
I've lost confidence.
But the president doesn't seem to have lost confidence.
By the way, I love President Trump, and I will continue to fight for him and continue to progress, not regress, but progress his America First agenda on my show and everywhere I go, okay? The reality is Pam Bondi, let's not forget, my friend, Pam Bondi was a Qatari lobbyist. Do you remember that?
I remember her being Attorney General of Florida, but that's about as far as my memory goes.
Well, okay, she was Attorney General of Florida, right? And she was whatever, she's okay. But she was a Qatari lobbyist.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that. So, with that being said, I think she needs to either resign or she needs to be fired by Monday. President Trump, like I said, I will continue to say it, I love President Trump, but I'm not going to lie, he's going to lose a lot of people if he keeps Bondi, because the reality is this is Bondi's fault. This is Pam Bondi's fault. Just one more thing is, all I want to say is, if Pam Bondi doesn't go, a guy named Dan Bongino, who's been a huge MAGA fighter, goes. Dan Bongino's a warrior. Dan Bongino's a patriot. We cannot let Dan Bongino leave, and Dan Bongino said he will leave on Monday if Bondi's not out. We need to replace Attorney General Bondi, because Bongino is so valuable. He's such an asset in this administration. And by the way, Donald Trump's MAGA base loves Bongino because they're one of him, and he's one of us.
So let me ask you this, though, because the president seems confident in Bondi, despite the fact that a lot of supporters are not. It's kind of similar to Lindsey Graham in South Carolina. Now, I'm not talking about the severity of the Epstein files with Lindsey Graham. It's just that people don't like Lindsey Graham in South Carolina, quite frankly, but they vote for him because Trump endorses him. I mean, he got booed at a Trump rally that I was at. So this is the thing. I think that Trump has confidence in people that the base doesn't like. He has confidence in Bondi, according to what he said recently.
I think he has confidence in her loyalty. But finish what you're saying.
Okay, sure.
Maybe not in her execution as a attorney general, not in her legal ability, but he has he wants loyalty. You look at who he's surrounded. Judge Jeanine Pirro is now working for. He wants loyalty. The guy needs loyalty because you saw him. Trump won. The guy had no loyalty. Yeah. He had no loyalty. He wants loyalty, and I don't know. I think right now the only thing that's keeping her on by a thread is the
loyalty card?
The loyalty card, yeah.
What about this, though? Now, this may upset some viewers because they like Trump a lot. However, a lot of people believe that the reason this disappeared, according to Elon Musk, is because Trump is on the list himself, and perhaps that is part of the reason that all of this has been downplayed. Do you think there's any merit to that?
Oh my gosh, that argument. When they say that, see, he's even raising up his eyebrows. The argument here. We're going to bring him in. Why not? Do you believe? Ask your question.
Sure.
We're going to bring him on. Why not?
Okay, hey.
This guy, what's your name, sir?
Emilio Martinez.
Emilio Martinez.
Emilio. Welcome,
Ask
Emilio.
him the question because
do you think Trump is part of the Epstein files and that's the reason they're backtracking, or no?
I'm starting to wonder.
Really?
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder.
Well, then I thought you were going to be on my side, Emilio.
You're
I thought
Trump.
Emilio.
Oh, of course, you got the 47.
Well, okay, so this is what I'm saying.
No, I'm starting to think that maybe he's trumped the shark. You know what I mean?
No.
He jumped the shark. There you go.
Okay, so for the last 10 years since he came down the gold escalators of Trump Tower, they've been trying to destroy the man, yes or no?
They have absolutely been trying
to destroy the man. Let me finish. Hold on.
And then, hold on. And then the same tactics they used to try to destroy Trump, Trump turns around and tries to destroy Elon.
Right.
I'm like, that's so weird. Like calling people
Elon acted like a child. Elon acted like a child, let's be honest.
That's what they said about Trump. They said he had the tweets. He's crazy.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Okay, so all I'm saying, so you agree for the last 10 years they've been trying to destroy the man? Yes?
Absolutely. They've been calling him a Nazi.
They've been trying to destroy the man. We know that for a fact.
Yes.
Okay, what else do we know for a fact? They've been trying to destroy him. They've been trying to bankrupt him. They've been trying to tear his family apart. They've been trying to basically end his business, take his business away from him. They impeached him twice. They've indicted him. They've tried to put him in prison. And lastly, they blasted his head off, and he was this close to being dead on live TV in front of the American people.
A year ago today.
So, by the grace of God, Donald Trump's life was saved. So, we know they've been trying to wipe him off the face of the earth every single way possible. Okay? You agree with all that?
Absolutely. And
I love this guy.
And he still could be totally wrong about Elon Musk.
So
hold on.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
One of the biggest never Trumper arguments against Trump is fooling you. He's just in government because of his government. He's his business interests. That's all. I'm like,
bullshit.
That sounds just like Trump saying, so Elon, he's mad at me.
It's a good impression.
It's a good impression. EV mandates. He wants the EV mandates.
We're having fun,
Jackson.
Wants those. Right? We're having fun.
That's all. He's mad at me.
Right?
I didn't give him. I'm like, Donald, that's what they said about you and your stakes.
All right,
and your Trump University. But the difference
Trump Airlines.
Trump Airlines and the hotels. Yeah. And I'm like, but Donald, I knew in my heart that you were a public servant who was putting his $1 billion on the line to save America.
Yeah.
Just like Elon Musk might be.
So I get the Elon argument, but we're talking about the Epstein. Hold on, we'll get to Elon.
Okay, we'll get to Elon.
Because in a lot of ways, I don't disagree with you. Elon.
I know.
No, I know. We're on the same team. We're friends. Come on, Emilio.
I love it. No,
I love it.
7, yeah.
So what I guess.
My wife's got the same hat.
That's awesome. So we know all of this. Okay? Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, they had their FBI. They had their DOJ. If they wanted to destroy him, the easiest way to put him in federal prison and literally say, hey, Donald, yeah, buddy, you're not running for president, pal. You're going to federal prison, is to unleash the Epstein files, because they know the Epstein files is probably the only thing where Trump's whole base says, hey, bye, we're turning around.
I think this is a fair argument. I haven't considered this before. I think this is fair, and so perhaps...
My argument is?
Yeah, I think that's a fair argument, because maybe that would have been used prior to now. I mean, we're seeing it play out. I mean, they said there was a list. There's not a list. They say Epstein killed himself. Nobody believes that, but that's what they're saying. So I think maybe that's fair.
But you know what?
I think Pam Bondi...
Can we point out that Donald Trump himself talked about the importance of the Epstein lists, campaigned on that?
Yeah.
And now it's like, it's a nothing burger. I was totally wrong.
No, when he said that, I'm not going to defend him on that. I said it. I was on the Charlie Kirk show yesterday.
Yes,
I was on the show yesterday, and I was 10 yards away from Charlie. I literally said that's the only thing where I'm like, it was not a good look on him or the administration. It was a little shady the way he went about it. I don't think he's on it. Again, on my show, I go out and talk to people. I go out and talk to young Gen Zers, conservative or not. Most people really don't think he's on it, because I've talked to liberals, Gen Z liberals in California, you guys. I've literally went up with my mic and talked to them, and they agree with my argument, but they just think like, why, Don, like the whole shady part of it, it's weird.
Yeah,
it's weird.
But who else is going to be on those Epstein lists? So if they release those Epstein lists, it's not just going to be to take down Donald. It would take down half of Hollywood. It would take down.
It would take down foreign leaders.
It would take down
royalty.
Democrats. Right. It's going to take down all the elites.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like Trump's trump card.
Yeah.
Was that you'll never use this against me because you'll have to cut your nose to spite your face.
Yeah, and
so that's the response.
Well, I think
I kind of feel like I'm almost like the angel or the devil over your shoulder here.
That's funny.
Yeah. Like,
no, I think.
Hey, yeah, kid. But what about this?
This has been a good discussion, and so I think there's fairness on all sides of these arguments, because I think that they're all reasonably plausible. So we'll see what ends up happening.
Can I mention one more thing? And I'm sick and tired of this. And I tried to go on with Steve Bannon and Jack Posobiec earlier. And I'm really sick of the Epstein stuff, because the reality is this. It is such a bad look for the Trump administration, and this is why I'm really mad at Pam Bondi. Guys, Trump ended 4 wars. 4 freaking wars in the last 90 days. The border secured. We are having the biggest mass deportation efforts in American history. He's promises made, promises kept. We passed the largest and the greatest piece of legislation in modern history in the Big Beautiful Bill. Okay, so we got that across. Guys, there's so much good. Inflation's down. Gas prices are down. Grocery prices are down. Like, there's so much good, and it just really pisses me off the fact that we're over here talking about Epstein. By the way, Epstein got indicted.
But it's important.
No, I understand it's important, and I feel for the victims and their families. That's why I think it's important. It's for the victims and their families. But guys, when I go out and talk to Gen Zers, young conservative Christian Gen Zers, guys, I talk to them, and they're just like, hey, I'm growing up in America where I'm going to go get in student loan debt. I'm going to go get in credit card debt. I can't afford housing, okay? They are concerned about this. They are not as concerned about the Epstein files. And I'm not trying to I'm not trying to belittle the victims. I really, that is the only reason I care about the Epstein files, is for the victims' sake and their families. It's disgusting what these disgusting wealthy perverts did, and they need to be accounted for, okay? Because if they can get away with it, that is absolutely disgusting. But I guess my point being is this. I just find it awfully incredible that, all the headlines is Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. We're not talking about all the successes and all the good Trump's doing, because the good outweighs the con by a long shot. And by the way, I'm speaking for the people, the young, conservative Gen Zers of California. That's who I'm talking to. And when I talk to them, they don't care as much about the Epstein files as everybody thinks. And that's kind of where my frustration comes in. It's like, sorry.
How about the national debt?
Yeah, there's a lot of concern, but again, that's greater than Epstein. It's greater than Epstein.
You're absolutely right.
It's like, because this is my generation. I'm 18 years old, you guys. I'm talking to kids, 18, 19, 20, 21. They do not give a damn about Epstein and the files as much as the media wants to portray. They care about peace in the Middle East. Trump's delivered on that. They care about low prices. Trump's delivering on that. They care about security in our border, security within our nation. By the way, Don Jr. made a great point last night. ICE, Trump's ICE, has declared 30,000 murderers and rapists entered our country illegally within the last 4 years under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. 30,000 combined. There's 4,000 counties in the United States of America. That means, according to this data, on average, 7 murderers and rapists are in every single U.S. county. That is a bigger threat than this Epstein bullshit and all of this other crap the media wants to put light on. This is what the American people, young Gen Zers, care about.
I think this is a good argument.
It is. The Epstein, why the Epstein? Because I really don't, I was never hyper-focused on the Epstein files. But it's kind of like that mole, the mole that people say, you should have a doctor check that out for cancer, right?
Yeah.
And then you go to the doctor, and the doctor says, I don't see a mole here. There's no mole. The mole, the only mole I see is Elon Musk.
Yeah.
I shouldn't let him come in, and they're like, no, everybody tells me I should have this mole checked out. And then like, they don't even acknowledge. It's like the same doctor who hands out pictures of your mole to Jack Posobiec and Libs of TikTok then says, What mole? What mole are you talking
That's
about?
fair. It's very good. Well, I appreciate both of you giving your insight. Thank you for coming and joining us.
We jumped on him by nowhere. I mean, we're over here just
Yeah,
talking,
Amelia.
I'm like, no, he's giving
No,
me
no.
work. I'm like, he's got to come on.
He
man.
was an
I'm like,
excellent
come on.
addition. An excellent addition. Yes.
right?
Well, thank you both.
Well, that's because I got Epstein files right here.
Yeah, there you go.
right.
Thank you both. Thank you both. I appreciate you doing this. We're all going to do one big happy handshake, a happy family.
Sure.